Well, hello, Gavin. It's so great to have you here with us.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here and to chat about my piece.
Absolutely. And for me, it's exciting to introduce you to our Washington Course family and beyond. The Washington Course, actually, I don't know if you know this, we've been commissioning composers really for the past 5 years for our Candlelight Christmas concerts. And I am so thrilled to have you join our list of composers with premieres for this concert. Well, I would love for you, Gavin, to share just a bit of background about this commission and really the origins of the project. Obviously, I know, but talk to our audience about this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm currently a composition student at the University of Michigan, where Dr. Rogers is one of my professors. He's the director of choirs here. So we've had the opportunity to collaborate a handful of times. Firstly, I guess around 3 years ago, I had written a piece that was performed by the chamber choir here. I was very lucky to be awarded the Brem Prize in choral composition, and the that piece was then performed with one of our ensembles here at the University of Michigan. And following that, we had a conversation about potentially writing a piece for the Washington Chorus. And I was thrilled to have that opportunity. It's such an incredible ensemble, and I'm really lucky to be able to work with them. And then in the intervening time since, I also got to sing with the choir as well. So much of the many of the singers at the University of Michigan, we came over and we joined the Washington Chorus for a performance of Mendelssohn's Elijah, and then
Yes.
we continued to perform in Argentina as well. So a very, very exciting international collaboration. Um,
Mhm.
and through that, I had the opportunity to sing with the ensemble firsthand, and I kind of got a sense of how the choir sounds. They're absolutely phenomenal, and that was sort of the jumping off point to work on this piece.
Absolutely. It's interesting. I love how you downplayed this Brem Prize. This Brem Prize is a highly sought after competition for composers. And for those who don't know, these composers are from undergraduate to master's and doctoral level students. And Gavin won this prize competing against all levels of students here at the university. I think you won as a sophomore.
I wrote the piece as a freshman and then was awarded the prize as a sophomore.
Yeah, just a little, just to give a little background there. So I think it speaks about your talent as well. A lot of people have been asking the bells. We don't think of this piece as a Christmas text, so you have to share a little bit about what led you to selecting this text. Everybody thinks of the Edgar Allan Poe, the bells, as being more haunted than anything else. Talk to us about that and how you may even how you approach setting this well-known text. Enlighten our audience.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I started on this project, I began just sort of scouring all of my favorite poets for Christmas and sort of just winter themed poetry in general. And I came across this poem by Edgar Allan Poe, and this poem is actually in several parts. And the first part describes sleigh bells, which is a very sort of appropriate Christmas time uh, setting, and then the other subsequent movements include like wedding bells and I think funeral bells. So there's lots of different moods that the poem goes through, and it's those later parts of the poem that are the more kind of characteristically spooky of Edgar Allan Poe's writing. But this first one is actually very lighthearted and very sort of like whimsical, and I found that it sort of set a really nice picture of a sort of wintertime scene. And this is supported, I think, in the poem by a really lively rhythm, a really lively pattern of syllabic stresses. So we can kind of use that as the energy behind setting it to music.
Mhm. Well, very much so. And I've had the chance to record the work just as a demo for our publisher. And it's not been publicly performed, but it very much is the spirit of the holiday. And I think folks will quickly have a different opinion about the text after hearing your composition. I'd love for you to just enlighten our audience as well about what should they be listening for. There's a couple of things that I know about as conductor, but tell them if you're listening to this piece for the first time, what are some musical elements that really stand out that the audience should listen for?
Absolutely. So I would say, first of all, there's some melodic material that's shared throughout the whole piece between the piano and the choir, and these sorts of melodic motifs will come up again and again throughout, and that's kind of the sort of the core through line throughout the piece. There's also a really exciting element of a sleigh bell being played, so it's a really sort of it's another musical element that's going to add to the texture and the ambience of the piece. And I
Mm,
think for me, the most exciting part of the piece is I've written a section where the choir sustains a pretty crunchy chord, and they're on the syllables of the word tintinnabulation, which is a super fun word. I think Poe didn't invent the word, but he was the first to sort of bring it into common use in this poem. And it's a word describing the sound that bells make. And I thought the best way to set this word is a sort of as an onomatopoeia, and to use the choir as to create the sound of the bells. So the choir is sort of alternating on across all of these notes on the syllables of tintinnabulation, and it's going to be all overlapping and creating the whole texture. So I would listen for that texture. I'd listen for that moment and see how the voice can be used not only as a melodic instrument but also as a sort of textural color. And there's different ways to explore that in the music.
yes, that's it's what some of my favorite aspects about the work. And I look at you've given us a wonderful challenge, but a colorful, wonderful challenge, I should say. Now let's go to just some of your inspirations. Obviously, one of the things that I love about you so much is that you're a fantastic singer. You just sing some Bach arias and trios and things recently on a concert. You are a composer. You're a conductor. I know you're working on conducting, trying to convince you to get a degree in one of those. But who are your compositional inspirations, and which composers do you connect with the most?
Sure thing. So I have, for a long time, I've had some sort of like very long-lasting inspirations that have gone back my entire time being a composer. And if I think back, some of the longest inspirations I've had have been Christopher Tin, whose choral orchestral works are sort of these long pieces with lots of connections and sort of motivic references. I think his process of having this like big like a large scale structure is something I really admire. I
Mhm.
really love the work of Caroline Shaw. That's sort of a reference point for some of the textural vocal writing I was discussing earlier. And then Eric Eschenwald's, I think, is a Latvian composer with absolutely spectacular writing, very, very pretty stuff. And then more recently, I've discovered a composer named Johan Johansson, who's an Icelandic composer who I
Interesting.
describe as sort of a cross between Arvo Pärt and like electronic sound design. So
Okay.
he unfortunately passed young, but up through about 10 years ago, he was writing really, really exciting music
Mhm.
that's sort of combining sorts of elements of minimalism with elements of electronic music, and I'd really recommend checking out his work.
Okay, thank you. I don't know that last composer, so I definitely will check out his things. I'm always looking, I'm always looking for new and exciting things as well. I'm going to ask you, I love doing what I call sort of the icebreaker, if you will. And so I'm going to ask you, there'll be a wide range of things, either or questions.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to have a little fun here. So this is for our audience to get to know you. Coffee or tea?
Oh, T.
Okay. Morning person or night owl?
I'm a night owl for sure.
Okay. Work alone or collaborate?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I think I do both in different contexts. I think a composer's work is often solitary,
Mhm.
but it is always a pleasure to collaborate. And I think it comes in and out in different parts of the process. So it's hard for me to
Sure.
pick just one.
Sure. I should know the answer of this, but I'll ask. Choral or instrumental?
It's got to be choral. Nothing beats choral. For me, what's so special is the text setting. I love text setting so much. That process is something that I find really special. So it
Well,
is like a collaboration actually
yes, yes.
with another artist in a way.
Mhm. But and for me, that's what stands out about your music is that you can tell you love texts. and you set them, it's always, your work always connects so well to that. Harmony or rhythm?
I think harmony for me, that's a
Ah,
tricky one too, but
yes.
harmony probably. I have been told that I write really interesting rhythms for a singer, which is a funny sort of compliment to get. But at the end of the day, there's nothing beats a good chord.
Yeah, I've got a couple more. Logic or intuition?
Um, hmm, let's say logic.
Okay,
Um,
okay. Pizza or sushi?
Sushi.
And
These are tricky.
I know, lastly, Beyonce or Prince?
It's got to be Beyonce.
Well, there'll be definitely some disagreements with
Yeah.
that. And then this is our last question from our TWC team. What's one of your favorite holiday songs or carols?
Growing up, I really loved singing "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen."
Hmm.
That one I think has stuck with me. We don't get a lot of Christmas songs in a minor key, but
Yes.
it was
True.
exciting, I think,
Yes.
to have that contrast.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Gavin, it's always a pleasure to to speak and obviously collaborate. This will be our second real project that we're collaborating on, and I hope we make you proud. We're so excited to dig in and look forward to sharing this with our DMV community in a month or so.
I'm
So,
thrilled to be part of this. Thank you so much.
absolutely. Thank you. Have a wonderful holiday season, everyone. We hope to see you at one of our performances.